My name's Umbra. I'm the Hierophant, Source Supreme, fucking Temple of Eternal Eclipse, and this is Magic Glass. Okay? So I'm going to make this kind of brief today. Pretty simple. I'm going to give you the greatest tool you'll ever receive. Okay? And you can debate that, but I don't give a shit. Alright? And that is contemplation, meditation. Alright? You've probably heard of this before, but we're going to start off with the basics. The basics are, you don't know what the fuck meditation is. Shut up. Stop thinking you do. You don't know what it is. Right? Just like you don't know what it is to die, having never died before. You don't know what a space alien is because you never met one. Okay? Your imaginings of it, what you think it is, ain't fuck all to do with what it is. So your ideas of what it is to meditate, drop them. You couldn't possibly fucking begin to imagine meditation. All right? Good job. Because meditation is a process, really is the practice of doing fucking nothing. So if you thought you understood what meditation is, how could that possibly be? It's just not doing shit, okay? So that you can get out your own fucking way, make some space to allow shit in your existence to happen with a little bit of awareness, okay? Make space for things like contemplation, okay? And even hearing that, you still don't know what it is, all right? You couldn't possibly know. Anything somebody else told you? Rumor, hearsay. Delusion, if you think you know it. But Umbra, how can I take your advice? Well, simply, I'm offering you tools that you can do at home, in privacy of your own home, right? To have an experience, potentially. And then having the experience, well, maybe you'll trust my word a little bit. Because what I told you bears wisdom, having worked for you, all right? But if you want to regurgitate what Buddha said, or the Dalai Lama, or Jesus, or whatever, try to have a conversation with me, stop. You're not going to get very far. I'm fucking Source Supreme, and you don't know fuck all about anything, because you're going to tell me what Buddha said, but I'm perfectly capable of reading what Buddha said. I've read more about fucking magic and spirituality than any other person I've ever fucking even heard of. By a long stretch. So, I already read those books. You don't understand them, I promise you. So why do you want to have that debate? The chances of you being a natural philosopher are next to nil in the current era, right? I don't need your shit opinion about what meditation is, having not achieved nirvana. I have. So shut the fuck up. Understand? You're dumb as fuck. You're ignorant. And that could be a tool on your belt. That could be just green lights all along. Or it could be, you don't like it, man, you're mean. But you care about doing some shit. Developing, growing, liberating yourself. Or you don't. You want to do magic, or you don't. And your opinions about me, and whether I'm a nice guy, who gives a fuck? I'm trying to give you the keys to your cell. People also often make the joke that I look like I spent time in prison, right? And just using the whole prison analogy, right? If I were in prison, and my captor even, the cops, walked up and handed me the key and said, walk out the front. I don't like you guys. You were mean to me this whole time. I'm going to stay here because I fuck you guys. Nope. Click. Bye. And if you're the type that would stay in the cell because, dear me, I'm not taking help from them, then you're dumb as fuck, aren't you? That's the world at large. They'd rather argue and debate thinking there's opinion about some of this shit, particularly magic and spirituality, instead of understanding that it's not a debate. And nobody ever has ever said it's up for debate. Every single spiritual, nope, there's some shit going, you can figure it out. It's not a debate. Because you don't understand how they're all saying the same thing. It has nothing to do with whether or not they are. Okay? So this tool, meditation, contemplation. All right? So let's just talk about some practices you can do at home so that you can obtain enlightenment, clear your mind, reach the meditative state. So, the most fundamental aspect of meditation is what you might call non-judgment. All right? And your understanding of what the word judgment means isn't necessarily what it means. All right? Judgment is to make a judgment about what is transpiring in your body, in your mind, around you. Okay? You think that you have to choose. You have to micromanage your experience, right? To be in a state of non-action, right? To do nothing is to just observe. If you start talking to yourself, notice it and do fucking nothing about it. Don't have an opinion about it. Don't try to stop it. Just watch it. It's going to be one of the hardest things you've ever done, right? I couldn't quiet my mind. Nobody told you to quiet your mind, you stupid fuck. They told you to be aware. To stop trying to stop yourself. That's one of the biggest things most people deal with. Stop trying to stop having thoughts, you stupid fuck. Stop doing shit. Sit down, fill your ass, and do fucking nothing. Don't think about tomorrow. Just experience with your senses the world you live in. Be present. Okay? For many people, the experience of being present without thinking or being in your head is fucking transcendental. Is an illumination, is an enlightenment. Right? It oftentimes triggers people into a spiritual awakening. Right? Just being like, oh shit, I'm fucking experiencing. Because you're so up in your own ass in your fucking head playing around. I gotta think about tomorrow. Am I working? That's not real, dude. That's a delusion. You live in your mind. You're not paying attention. You don't experience. Okay? So, if you want help in achieving this, you don't have to sit on a fucking thing and sit in a certain... No, none of that shit fucking matters, dude. You can... I meditate. I don't have things going on in my head right now. At all. There's not thoughts in here. All right? What happens is you come to the forefront of your fucking experience and you're like, oh, I'm aware. You learn a lot about existence when you get out of your fucking cave. So, there's lots of ways you might be able to meditate, right? But what worked for me, right, was to understand that I am not to be thinking in the future, thinking in the past, I'm not trying to attain anything. I'm simply trying to observe, be aware, stop doing things. And what worked best for me was taking my hand and feeling. I just did like this. Wipe my hand across the counter in my apartment. Feeling how it felt on my hand. That's all I did. I walked around and just felt what it was to brush my fingers across the table. I did that. And then I sat down and boom, nirvana. That's how I did it. Because I didn't have time to have I was just, feel. No opinions about it, just aware of it. Aware of how it felt, my feet felt on the ground. Just feeling things. Feel your feelings. Feel your body. Touch the fucking, look at things. You don't have thoughts when you're doing, when you're feeling. If I stab you, you're not going to be thinking. You're going to be like, you'll be focused there. No thoughts. You do it all the time and don't realize it. Then you quickly pull yourself out of it because, oh God, I haven't said a thing in my head in 20 seconds. Okay? Feel. Sense. Experience. The world being a sensory experience, right? And it being an illusion. You don't know what the fuck any of that means. You don't know. Stop thinking you know what it means. This thing is fucking you over. Your little fucking brain, your mind. You don't know anything. And I can say that from the perspective of a vast, vast, vast majority of what humanity believes to be the case is not the case. Geometry's wrong. Math is arbitrary. It's all fucking an illusion. This part's the illusion. The constructs in your head. Corporations, not real. Capitalism, not real. Government, not real. They are concepts. They are fucking not real. This is real. It's not an illusion. The police is an illusion. Do you understand? Math. We made it up. Language. Made up. That's not arbitrary, but you understand? So you got it twisted. And if we're going to have a conversation and you don't know what the words mean, you think it's just whatever we decide, you're wrong. Because if we can't decide what the word literally means, then it doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean figuratively. It means one thing or the other. Right? Figuratively is a better, is actually the appropriate word. Right? Figuratively, meaning as in a figure. This is figuratively. Literally means as written. And if you don't know what the words mean, literally, it's arbitrary to you. Oh, literally. What does that mean? Because you don't know what the fucking words mean. given the fact you just switched it to mean whatever the fuck you want. So if you read the book, you don't actually know what you think you know what you read, because you assumed that what somebody told you to be the definition of a word was the case. And if you go do the etymology of individual words, and you have a grimoire and shit, like a real wizard, you might discover almost every single word you think you know the definition to, you fucking don't. Not even close. Most of them are like fucking backwards. They're the opposite. Okay? So, consider that everything you think in your head and words and shit is fucking blah, blah. You don't know anything. You can't really speak. It's a miracle that you can even fucking have an experience with another in any capacity. It's because magic's real, right? But everybody's speaking Babel. They're like, this word means this thing. You have no fucking clue. And this is especially important. Especially important. Not for things like milk, which you can fucking say, that's milk and we all agree on it, right? Oh, it's an egg. It's a real thing. But a corporation, what is that? What is it? And you're going to use a bunch of words that also don't point to things that exist to describe it. You're like, it's a bleeble board. You'd be like, what's that? Well, it's a zeta 5 and 9 or 7 from Alpha Gagger. That's how you fucking sound. The corporations rule the capitalist society. What do those words mean? What's a society? Capitalism? Point to it. Concepts that people use to justify behavior. Trapping them in illusion. You go to work at your job to make money, because those are all concepts that you enslaved yourself to. You don't need any of that shit. You need to potentially put food in your mouth, which you can point to, get water, live somewhere. The rest of it, made the fuck up. Laws, made up. There are no laws. God's law, only law God gave was not to eat from the tree of knowledge of good and evil. So all the rest of the rules in the Bible are given by angels, made up. Not law. God's law was don't eat from this tree. Basically, the only law God gave was there are no laws. You couldn't possibly fucking say that you know, if you're talking about biblically, right? What right and wrong is, because I told you in the beginning not to. If you say you do, you violated the only fucking law you were told not to, which was like to create laws. So, made up. Enslave you. Pretty simple, right? So meditation. Go back to this. I don't want to get too off. Find somewhere comfortable that you can sit. You know how to sit in a special pose? You want to keep yourself from falling asleep accidentally. Okay? So, sit upright. But comfortably. If you get an itch yourself. If you need to adjust. Stop making judgments on what it is to sit in meditation. If you have thoughts, observe them. Just try to bring yourself away from that chattering voice and the involvement. All right? Oh man, I thought, okay, let it go. Oh, pennies. Oh, back here. Watching it. Understand? No judgment. Oh, I have to start over. I thought about pennies. If you're thinking about pennies, just be aware that you're thinking about pennies. Oh, what was it? Stop participating. Feel your feelings. Feel your body. Often breath. Feel the air go in. And then follow it out. Your awareness. You were just paying attention to the sensation. As it goes down. As it goes out. Right? If you start thinking about pennies, don't worry about it. Just be aware that you're thinking about pennies. And then bring your awareness back to this. And before you know it, you'll just be pure awareness. And the fucking mountain you've been carrying around for years, your entire existence, will come off of you. And you'll be enlightened, not carrying that fucking burden around. You get it? It's not to do with light. Heavy, light. Enlightened, unburdened, unshackled, freed. If it had to do with light waves, we'd call that illumination. Incandescence. Not enlightenment. Okay. So, this process, very easy. Your job is to sit and do fucking nothing. Just watch. Observe. Be aware. You're trying to practice being aware, not doing. Okay? And being aware is something that you rarely do. Often, you're just on autopilot. You can see all these spiritual assholes being like, we're trying to extend your consciousness. No, the fuck we aren't. Because your consciousness doesn't say shit about your awareness. You can be unconscious and aware. It's called dreaming. Weird. You can be conscious and unaware. Vast majority of people who are not enlightened. They are consciously operating day in, day out, routine, like ants. But they are fucking oblivious to their behavior, to what's going on. The voices chattering. There's constant struggling. That's why you can't talk to them. They're fucking sleepwalking. Hey, did you know that I didn't Ow. They can't hear you. Hello? Hello? They assume. They're in their head playing the story out like they think it is instead of listening. Okay? Which is why I'm a fucking ghost, or you might become a ghost or a mirror. Because they're completely oblivious to their behaviors, to their fucking responses, to their actions. Right? They're not in control. There's nobody at home. Because they're up here. She's a bitch. She meant to do that. What? She just left an extra tip. Now this is the narrative in here. Didn't ask a question, has no fucking idea. And if I was that person, and I came back, hey, did you want to say? I know what you did. I have no idea what you're talking about. Oh, you see, the suffering, the conflict is in this fucking sick place. Nothing to do with what I did, what I intended, none of that. And I can't hear it when you think you know. So meditation is the practice of being fucking aware, turning the lights on, waking up, because you're sleepwalking. And I'm like, hey, buddy, hey, 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 hey. And you're like, look at me, just look at me, okay? Look at me, just look at my eyes, all right? Now, listen to the words out of my mouth. Listen, just don't think, just listen. I want you to take your hand and feel how your hand feels on your shirt. Just do that with me, buddy. Just feel it. Just feel how it feels. All across your clothes. That's all I want you to do. Just do that, okay? Can you do that with me? Feel it. Don't, there's no reason why. Just feel how your fingers feel touching your shirt. Your face. How do your eyebrows feel? Your mouth. How does it feel on your fingers? Okay, what about the table? Just feel your fingers. Now maybe you can stand up and just feel how your toes feel when you walk. That's it. Just pay attention to how your toes feel every step. Let's do our breath. How does it feel with the air going in your lungs and then out? Does it feel like in your step? Just feel it. Are you awake yet? You paying attention? That you have a fucking body and you're experiencing, and you don't need to be thinking about it. You can just be doing it. Because when you're breathing in and out, are you thinking, breath in, breath, are you feeling it? Yeah, you're just doing the breathing automatically. And you're feeling it and being aware of it. Wow, you can do that? Yeah. Which is how I can have this fucking long ass lecture and not have a single motherfucking thought in here. There's no voice inside my head. There's no script. I didn't pre-plan this. Stream of consciousness, you might say. It come out. I act without acting. I don't need to perform, because what I say is just what occurs to me to say in the instant that it come out my fucking mouth. Alright? Imagine living like that. Make you a god. Okay? Now, we're not done there. This is where I give you the real tool. Meditation, that's great. People get sidetracked, though, try to do the astral. They don't try to get their fucking dick sucked by a space fairy or whatever. Not going to be good for you. Dead end. Or you'll have the experience of nirvana, you'll chase that. Understand, at the baseline, the bare minimum, you should be fucking aware. Alright? But you're not done. You have only just begun. You have the basic tool to clear all the shit that you got fucking piled up on autopilot and be aware, present to make actual decisions. You are an awake person. You're a real boy now. Or you're starting. Okay? Before you recognize everything you were doing and react just like as a response, which makes you like a cog in a machine. You're like a simulator, like an AI, like a sim. It's not that you don't have, it's like, but every choice you make, you're making because you are just assumed and you're reactionary. That means that If I had a supercomputer, I could tell from the moment you're born to when you crawl into a grave what choices you're going to make. You're a sim because you're responding all the time. I don't like this, I don't like this. Well, it's pretty simple to figure out what people like and don't like, right? If you think there's a good and bad, whatever the current morality is for the era, I can pretty much figure out every choice you're going to make. You think that's bad? You think that's good? You're going to pick the good one. You're going to pick the thing that's easier. You're going to pick the one that's better for you. You're going to pick always that. You aren't going to make a real choice. You won't have free will. You'll be a sim. Okay? Because you're not aware. You're just responding, oh, she don't like that. I gotta go, pick up the kids. And you're just a zombie. Right? So being aware is the very first fucking step in the spiritual journey. Right? Every single motherfucking Buddhist monk sitting in one of those monasteries, you can be sure is enlightened. Everyone. That's the basic first step. That enough alone is there's a whole sects of fucking spiritual traditions centered around getting people to have that very basic experience. Waking the fuck up. Being aware. Enlightened. Being mindful, you might call it. Be present. Be here now. Baba Ram Dass, fucking, consider whole religions with huge sects dedicated to helping people just be here as a person. Be aware that you're fucking experiencing shit. So it's very beginning. Where we're gonna go next? Well, this I would consider is the greatest tool you'll ever receive. When you get good at practicing just being aware, and the voice dies down, and you're just touching stuff, and you get pretty good at that. It won't even take you that long. Maybe even a week of doing it for 20 minutes a day, just walking around the house, sitting down. I bet you'll be able to shut that thing down real quick. I want to be present. Boom. When you can turn that thing off and the thoughts stop rolling through your head all the time because you're just distracted, you might call it, you're going to do this next step, and that is have a discrete topic that you want to contemplate. One thing. Let's say, if you want to look at the Book of the Dead or look into Hinduism or to Buddhist practices, the death state, death, or the elements, fire, wind, one thing. You can have something that you can touch even while you're doing it. Get a piece of dirt if you want to do earth. Get some water. That's why they have those, right? In these like temples and stuff. Something. One thing to contemplate. A concept, a word. Something that you thought you knew, but you want to know the reality of it. Okay? You're going to take it, and while you're being present, you're going to put it in here. In your head. Earth. And just observe as it unfolds. Experiencing, considering. Not knowing, not judging. Earth. See it. And guess what? You never need another motherfucking... Books are so fucking useless to you in terms of what you need to know. Wisdom, it flows like a fucking ocean. It's not hard. But you have to stop thinking you fucking know. Stop thinking you could possibly, having never fucking considered it for 2 seconds, shut the fuck up and just contemplate. Earth. What is the element of Earth? Not the name for the planet. The element. Earth, wind, fire. What is it? What about all the phases that this Earth could be in? Maybe it's rocks. What else would be Earth? Plants, maybe. Well, then the plants, maybe oil. Earth. Oh, if it's oil, then maybe it is kind of like water then. And we burn it, so it's like, so maybe Earth is the same as water and fire. Maybe they're all the fucking same, aren't they? Because the Earth, which you consider a rock, which trees grow out of, the dirt is made from plants, isn't it? It grows into a plant. The tree dies. It gets buried. It becomes oil. We dig it up. We burn it. It becomes fucking fumes in the air. The tree's absorbed and boom. The tree is a rock. It's a phase of the earth element's life cycle, you might consider it. It goes from being in the dirt, a hard seed, and it grows into a plant. And you think they're different. Why do you think we have petrified forests? Because trees are a fucking rock that sprung out of the ground. The living rock. If you freeze water, it gets hard. If you heat it up, psh. If you get it real hot, or you get it in certain conditions, it can explode. all things are in all things. All the elements are the same. And you never fucking contemplate for 2 seconds. You just look at a tree. They're different. They're not. Even by the fact when a tree dies, look at all the forest. The forest floor is from dead shit. What dead shit? Trees. Bushes. And that's what the trees grow out of. And you thought they were different because it looked a little different. Because you never fucking considered it for 2 fucking seconds. But it's so obvious. Natural philosophy is to go with your both eyes and look. This shit grew out of this shit. It become this shit and then die and become this shit again. And if you do that long enough, it becomes fucking shale and oil. And it's so simple, isn't it? Oh. Might not even need to contemplate it for very long. Just like immediately. Oh, duh. Now you have that tool. Go find those fucking spiritual books again. And instead of thinking, follow the motherfucking instructions from the very first page as you're reading it. Instead of thinking, if you don't know what the fuck it's talking about, contemplate it. And you'll make rapid spiritual progress. You'll be able to fucking actually have eyes to see and ears to hear, not thinking you fucking know. How the fuck are you gonna learn something if you already know it? You could never. A master makes a shitty student. Every wise master understands they're constantly the student. So there is divinity, if there is omnipotence, then knowledge, what does that mean? Can we change it? Mm-hmm. But if everybody in the world thinks they know, well, I know it's fucking math and science. Okay, God, way to go, you dumb fuck. Enjoy living in global warming and fucking corporate terrorism and shit. Things that aren't real. They're concepts. It's the matrix you spun for yourself. What do you tell your kids to go to college and then get a fucking full-time job? Sell them straight to Moloch, sacrificing your children to the false idol. Progress, corporate, not real. Star God. Obvious, isn't it? If your parents raised you and forced you to go to college because they were caring about your future, you can get a job so you didn't fucking starve. They sold you down the river, your life, so that you wouldn't suffer at the hands of something that doesn't exist. And we've been doing that to our children for how long? Why? Because people are too fucking lazy to be here. Too much of a coward. They'd rather just autopilot until they're dead. And if you're autopilot until you're dead, not making choices, then you're not a fucking alive, are you? So where do you think you are? You think you're alive on Earth? Or are you dead in the underworld? So maybe the Tibetan Book of the Dead picks a different fucking meaning, doesn't it? Maybe if you read it again and it says to contemplate the death states and you actually did it, you'd recognize that you're already fucking dead in the underworld. And that book is a lot more significant, isn't it? Because it's trying to get you the fuck out of there. And you think it's going to happen when you die, so you put it off. Nope, motherfucker, you're already dead. You better climb the fuck out of the pit or you're gone forever. Swirling and shit. Never living. It's fucking husks walking around. Spiritually bankrupt, dead, zombies. And then you recognize that every birth on this planet, every act of reproduction is black magic. You know why? Because it's fucking necromancy. And that is, full stop, the case. Sex is necromancy. 100,000%. We're talking about fucking reincarnation. That's how would you bring back a loved one that died by having sex? Necromancy. Obviously, that's what the fuck necromancy is, isn't it? I want my love to come back. You fucking had this lady. You have a kid. I knew my uncle would come back. Of course you did. Fucking weird. With a little bit of contemplation on the death state, considering the process when a body dies. The process when a body dies is what your body's doing right now. Right now! So how is it different? Because you're not, well, you pass out, you ever get put under anesthesia? That ain't the case. That's not what causes it, the death, is it? No. It's all these things like, but the nails keep growing and the hair grows and then the body bloats and gases. That's what my body does right now. The cells reproduce for a few, and then they stop. But your cells in your body are doing that right fucking now. And they have been since you came out your mom's vagina. Which, with a little bit of contemplation, is pretty clear. That the moment you came out of that vagina, you were fucking dying. And so you're not alive. The opposite of death isn't life. It's birth. When you're in there, as soon as you come out, you're dying, buddy. You're dead. And if you look at the magicians and shit, philosophers, they discuss things like corruptible, alchemy particularly. The corruptible elements, corruptible things. Things that are corruptible are not eternal. And if your body can be corrupted, decay, it's not eternal. So your conception of life is not life. Because life be eternal. Death be eternal. This is eternal death. Change. Eternal life is also a type of change. The intermediate state that the Tibetans are telling you about is where you find yourself right fucking now. And if you don't walk the fuck out of limbo, that's on you. But now you got the tools. And if you got the tools, those two simple ones, that's all you really need. That's all you need to get started. Okay? I had an experience that motivated me to seek the answers. And so I did all of it, right? And that, to this moment here, I spent much of my time in contemplation. And there's crazy shit you can do. But you can learn if you just shut the fuck up, be aware of the experience, and then place a concept in there. Watch it unfold. It's not that it's all available, because magic's real, buddy. Seek and you shall find. What is Earth? Maybe close your eyes and watch images. Just ponder and all these different. Think of all the different ways Earth is. Just watch it. What about Earth? Because you're not distracted. You're focused. Your mind that you've been fucking exercising like a goddamn power lifter for your whole life. Once you stop fucking beating its ass and you place a little bit of a concept in this one in there, you're so fucking shredded. You're good. You'll figure it out. Now everything that you thought you knew, you realize is a lie. You can finally see with eyes, unclouded, right? They're as cloudy as they are until you start doing more and more and more. Until it gets to the position where you're eventually going to have to be a crazy person, right? Because you're going to realize that you aren't a crazy person, that you're living in a world where you're one of the very few people that is fucking not crazy. Okay? I'm not crazy. The entire world is out of its stark raving, fucking foaming out the mouth crazy. Rabid mouth. The world is. Let's try to have a debate with you. And you'll be like, I contemplate it, and no, it's not the case. No, it is, because I read it. Alright, well, I experienced it. Contemplated it, went out and looked, observed it. But you just read it, or somebody told you. I gotta go to this job. No, you don't. Yeah, I do, because I want to have a... You ever living on the street? So, you're not surviving? You ever tried to survive before? What happens if you stop going to work? Do you know? Nope. You think you're just surviving? If I dropped you off in the middle of Alaska right now, out of a helicopter with just clothes on your back, then you'd be surviving. Would you make it? You don't know. You think it's impossible. You never fucking done it though. Just like you never meditated. You think you know. You think you'll die. You never even try it because you're a coward. Maybe it's really easy. Maybe it's so fucking easy. Maybe everything in the world rushes up to greet you every morning and fucking make sure you survive. And then why do you go to work? What if you just quit and just didn't do anything and you fucking didn't care? Homeless, whatever. What if you did that? Instead of thinking you knew what was going to be the result, maybe you just started making more money. Not even trying. Just trying not to make money even. Like, oh, I'm good. What if that's how you become rich? Then maybe 1% of the population would be rich and you wouldn't be. You think Jeff Bezos works for his money? Are you stupid? You think that dude earned all the billions, trillions of dollars he made? Tell me how he did that. He worked his way up through Amazon? No. He didn't. He didn't do anything. In fact, how bosses function, you know, people who are rich, they get rich by not working. You understand that? Like, you have to, please tell me, you can comprehend that Jeff Bezos is a billionaire because he doesn't work. Right? And you think that going to work is how you survive. Tell that to Jeff Bezos from his mansion. But you think you fucking know. I gotta go to work so I can survive. Jeff Bezos don't gotta go to work to survive. Jeff Bezos never has to work a day in any of his lives. From here to forever. If he has kids, they're old money now. He has so much money he could never, ever hope to spend it all. And he and all of this fucking progeny never have to work again, ever. And they'll still be rich. And you're gonna tell me that the way to survive is to go to work, when the observable phenomena you experience in the world is in direct opposition to that. And any other bullshit ideation you had, imaginings, assumptions, you've never, ever, ever, ever seen it, ever in your entirety of your life. Okay? And because 99.9% of you haven't done this, even once, that's why I'm the source supreme and you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. But you can. But if you don't do it, don't ask me. Because if you hear it from me and you say you think you know it, you've deceived yourself again, liar. You know who rules the world, right? The deceiver, but it ain't me. It's the man in the mirror. Looks back at you in the bathroom every day. Who thinks they know some shit when they heard it secondhand? Rumor, gossip, hearsay. You are the deceiver, you fucking liar. And anything you ever told anybody that you read from somewhere else or told you, anything you ever said, I know this because you're a liar. You're a fucking liar. And that's why everything in this world is lies. Nothing is true. It's all lies. Of course, there is a sort of absurdity of duality in that. And it's kind of comes full circle, but it's fucking bananas. You start realizing that every cartoon, everything that you've ever read is the truth. All the facts, fiction, all the fiction is fact. And it becomes crazy. People get psychosis because they're like, what the fuck, is Ninja Turtles real? Yep. How? You don't know yet. When you see it, you'll be like, holy fuck. And all the shit you thought was real, and that shit's a fucking made up, dude. Made the fuck up. There's magic's real, bro. All that shit's fucking real, bro. And you're like, how is that possible? Wait. I'll drive down the road sometimes and look at the clouds and it'll have the words spelled out in plain English. Fuck you, or like, bitch. Like, it's just crazy, bro. I've seen all the time. I've been places you can't even imagine. Talk to real life elves. One front moving the knife ones. Weird. There are people on this planet that I had a hand in creating. I mean, literally. Now you're real. Oh, Magi. Archmagi. More crafting the Aeon. Okay? That's why things are changing. Not because people, it's because I fucking changed it. Me and some of the compatriots. I'm the only one, of course, but. You think that things happen to you? Nope. You think that all these Go read Neil Gaiman's Sandman. That's closer to the reality that you live in than the thing that you think you do. But you gotta go to work at the corporation ship. No. You can consider me death. Walking around. Dreaming a little bit. Okay? And it's not a delusion. The delusion is you thought you knew. How could you possibly know something that you fucking you've never experienced? You believe? Get out of there. Alright, so this is your saving grace. And it's not me telling you what it is. I can tell you some experiences I had. I'm just giving you the fucking simple tools that many wise men, prophets have been trying to give you. The tools to liberate yourself, which is for you to sit down, shut the fuck up and stop thinking you know things, and open your both eyes and consider for a second. Like you were the first motherfucking person to consider it. People are like, why should we reinvent the wheel? Do it. Fucking do it. If you don't reinvent the wheel, you just take it for granted. Well, when they say the wheel plus, that requires you to spill some of your blood to get it to turn, you won't ask the question. Well, it needs it because they told me that you don't fucking reinvent the fucking wheel. Go relearn geometry. Don't tell me you know geometry, do sacred geometry. Fuck you, you don't know geometry. You know how I know that? Because you can go read Pythagoras' fucking treatise on it. Basically the father of geometry. The first chapter, and find out that he got it fucking wrong in the beginning. And if geometry is based on that, which it is, it's all wrong. And so geometry's wrong. All of it. You don't know geometry. Pythagorean theorem doesn't work. It's false. But you thought you do. So you don't know geometry. But you can learn it by reinventing it. Go contemplate. Go look. Understand the concepts, the logic. Reinvent it. And fucking free yourself. And by proxy, maybe millions of other people. I mean that literally. Maybe billions of people. Buddha, Siddhartha, Jesus, fucking Krishna, so on and so forth, are beyond legends. Billions of people have followed them in their teachings. And you might be in the same position in a few months with a little bit of dedication. Easily. And what separates you from that position and the one you're in right now is your participation. You being here, present. You experiencing, being aware, considering, and not listening to what other motherfucking people told you. Because if you think that you're free and somebody else told you how to live, tell me how the fuck that is. Monkey see, monkey do. Wake the fuck up and walk the fuck out the pit. You can do it. I believe me. As a human being before this, you might consider me average. And now I'm fucking peerless among gods and men. You can think what you fucking want about that, but it is the case. And you can be there too. It's not a competition. Omnipotence is omnipotence. It is just a gift so that you can fucking start walking. If I tell you that I was a ding dong, look at me. And I climbed the mountain. I've been up and down the mountain so many times, I've run them motherfuckers into ash, dust. You can do it too. If I'm average and I did it, you can do it. So what the fuck are you doing? The Herculean trials? He's fucking legend for being so strong. I've done that shit 10 times over. He's a bitch compared to me. You can be in the same position as me. Stunting on fucking Zeus and Thor and Odin, fucking Hercules and all of them. All you gotta do is pull your pants up. Expect you're gonna get your ass handed to you. Maybe you get your reality shattered. And approach existence like motherfucking Elden Ring, Dark Souls. And if somebody get knocked down, you get back up. And when you fucking get to the top of the mountain, you look down. Then you'll know what fucking strength is. Then you'll be a fucking legend. And nobody gotta tell you are, because you'll fucking know it. For real, for the first time in your life. I believe in you. You can do it. Those 2 tools is all you need. I can give you hint. I can share wisdom along the way, but that's what I started with. And I started pouring over every spiritual text, every magical tome that there is. Using the same tools every time. And that's how I fucking figured out what's going on. And I can do things that you can't even comprehend right now. Okay? You can't lie to me. I can see the fucking future. But all sorts of crazy shit that you think you understand right now. But when you experience it, you're like, what the fuck? Yeah, it's way... This place is so fucking crazy. Maybe life won't be so shitty then. Will it? Maybe this place will be fucking dope and you got something to live for. And that is this mystery of motherfucking resurrection. Because you're sleepwalking, a zombie. And with a little bit of effort, dude, you can breathe life in this golem. You can breathe life in the world. If there isn't a greater fucking challenge to aspire to. I don't know where you've been living. But there's 10 billion people on this planet right now that fucking in the puppy mill, grinding their bones in the ash over and over again. And you could fucking outshine goddamn Odin in your lifetime if you just showed up and say, so many souls. And if you don't think that's the coolest fucking challenge, then you're fucking stupid as fuck. You don't mind if I hog all the glory. But I love a good challenge. This Battle for Heights score. I'll show you my playthrough and build, and I hope that you can share yours. And I'll see you on the path, warrior.